Hello, everyone. My name is Hakeem, and I'm doing the Model 3 Self and Community Reflection for my internship. So, one of the important core of competencies that I developed during this internship is that it's digital literacy. In this 21st century, it is important that one is a digital literate because uh, internet and the computer software is paving the way for businesses to move forward with their with the day-to-day operations. And employees are expected to be competent in using the various Microsoft programs, be it from PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel, Word, and so on. And I believe that a good leader must have good digital literacy skills to work effectively in the workplace and also teach others as well. So another core competency that I think it's important, especially for a leader, is that they must have critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Employers of this age right now are looking for people who can think outside the box and to solve problems because the digital age, tying back to my previous point, it gives a lot more unique problems and it has to be solved in different means and circumstances. So if a person does have the capability to deal with the problems, it'll just make things much more quickly and it'll be much more efficient in the long run. And also, it is a very desired trait for leaders to think critically and to deal with unique problems as well. So, one of my proudest accomplishments, even though it looks like small in comparison to others, is just handling a problematic candidate who had issues with his pay. As the primary recruiter who I was helping at that time was not really in the office, and I didn't really had much help on the others. I had to really think fast on my feet and make sure I had to organize and email the appropriate payroll employee to make sure that this person gets his pay. And after many tries, I had managed to solve it, and it felt gave me a feeling of accomplishment to knowing that his pay will now be safe. So how this internship stretched my comfort zone is that as we are all dealing with a deadline, be it full time or part time or even an intern like me, we need to help each other in times of need, just like how team members work together. This just helps to like deepen the bond really. So even as an intern, I also find that things are expected of me, and fulfilling them gave me not only satisfaction but it made the workplace environment much more bustling, at least for me, and also much more harmonious. And what I learned through the internship is that I am a lot tougher than I give myself credit for because I've always had this um, self-esteem issue, if you could say, that I've always felt down. But after trekking through almost 3 months worth of work, I actually feel that I can accomplish something, and it really gives me great joy. So, one of the career competencies that I would love to develop in the future, as I put in the final reflection, is that I like to develop the communication competency a lot more deeply because during my time, I've seen that it developed well beyond my expectations, but I feel that it could be developed even further. I had to interact with colleagues within and outside the department because I was a recruiter and we had to interact with the sales department. And how a good leader must have a good communication skill to ensure that he or she is effective in the workplace and ensure that there's no miscommunication between employer and employee to make sure that all the workplace is harmonious. The other career competency that I should continue developing is the collaboration and teamwork competency because even though during my internship I had to constantly interact and help other colleagues from different departments, I still believe that I can still develop this even more by maybe working with the president directly or with my boss directly as well. And there's a lot of communication from what I can tell between me and the other crews when I was working there. So I believe at least a good leader must be able to collaborate with their colleagues to ensure that there's little workflow disruption and maintain the harmonious environment to ensure that it'll be as less of a toxic environment as possible. So lastly, so what I've tried to integrate what I learned from the workplace into the future. So besides face-to-face, I've now come to realize that I can use such programs such as Microsoft Teams, FaceTime, Zoom to actually conduct in-person interviews to make sure I can see the candidate face-to-face. And also, it just gives just another tool to for me to use should there be like another pandemic in the future. And also, by learning the communication styles of my colleagues will be useful in finding good ways to talk to them because, from what I learned, a lot of people have different communication styles, be it passive or active and stuff like that. And finding out the personality of my colleagues will help make it easier with team building. And being proactive, I've learned that it also helps with like improving camaraderie and it helps to, as previously mentioned points before, create a much better workplace environment. That is all. Thank you.